Good morning to all of you. So let us start our deliberations with the fourth day. Today, fourth your support and cooperation. You completed 3 days and entered into the fourth day of our training program. So today we have two distinguished personalities connected to this program. One is Swapna, who is finance minister for our program. Who has supported us by granting this program and arranging all the finance required for organizing this program. I invite Swapna madam to come to the dais. Swapna is also a registered patent agent and trademark agent. Particularly for MSME, these two intellectual property rights are very, very important. Not only these two, there are of course many, but particularly the patent, trademark, copyright, designs, they are all very, very important. She also, that is her core area. Apart from promoting this kind of a training programs, her core area is intellectual property rights, and she is also coordinator for the IPFC Center in National Institute for MSME. We are known to each other for quite some time in the ecosystem. So when they launched this program nationwide, and she also gave an opportunity to organize this program based on our association with the institute and professional association with them. I think they are organizing several programs across the country. We are one of them in that activities. So I'm thankful to NIMSME management and Swapna Garu for giving us this opportunity. I also request Professor Mallikarjun Rao, today's guest speaker, sir, kindly come and occupy your chair. I also request Swapna Garu, after Mallikarjun Garu's lecture is over, to share some of her perspectives, how important are intellectual property rights, particularly for entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs, startups, MSMEs. We are all seeing a lot of cases being fought or booked every day in the newspaper saying that someone has infringed or copied intellectual property rights. We want to overcome such kind of mistakes. The knowledge and the awareness of intellectual property rights are very, very important for entrepreneurs and startups. If you don't protect your intellectual property right and if you want to move in the value chain, there is no protection for you. Once you got intellectual property rights protected for your company or the knowledge what you are trying to put into use, you get a protection, legal protection, and also you get a competitive advantage. All those aspects she's going to share with all of us in a very brief and condensed manner because we are not scheduled her talk in our regular schedule. So I requested her to speak and share some of their perspectives. How important are the intellectual property rights, particularly for entrepreneurs, more so for technopreneurs. So coming to today's talk, we are going to have the next talk by Mallikarjun Rao. He is a professor in electrical engineering department. He is also head of the department. And the topic what we have requested him is that suppose all of us we are technopreneurs, in that mode for the last 3 days. So what we expect from all of you is that even before coming to this program or completion of this program, we are supposed to come out with a lot of ideas, to solve the societal problems. So if you have a problem or if you have a problem statement, how do you convert that idea or the problem statement into a product as a process, at least at a prototype? That is the first level of validation of your idea. So technically your idea really is feasible. Converting that idea into a proof of concept or a prototype, is it feasible or not? That is one of the important things for a technopreneur. So Dr. Mallikarjun heads that department or the facility which is a part of a AP State Skill Development Corporation. We have established a beautiful facility. Time permits, somehow I forgot to include time permits. We will also take you to that facility. You know, how that facility is useful. Converting your ideas into a physical prototypes, a physical prototype. And thereafter we scale it up or convert a what we call minimum viable product. MVP is what we call or a functional prototype. So he heads a facility. He has helped many prospective entrepreneurs to come out with an idea and gone out of the center with a prototype in their hands. If you want to attract investors, definitely should have a prototype in your hand. Say, for example, yesterday the was talking about the type 2 diabetic detection kit. Now, that is an idea, but how you do the shape, unless you produce a product, nobody will appreciate you, nobody will be interested to talk to you. So, if you have such kind of an ideas and convert it to a product or a prototype, these kind of facilities are required. The Siemens has supported for establishing this facility. We got a number of machines, which are useful to convert ideas into prototypes. The heads up department of the section and file permits. It will also take you to that when you visit Andhra University Integration Center, that is close to that. So please kindly remind on that day when we go to AHUB, you should also visit this Siemens prototype center. They are very, very useful. Each equipment is quite expensive, and large number of equipments have been assembled there so that the prospective entrepreneurs can convert their ideas into prototypes. Coming to introduction of Mallikarjuna, biodata is very large because he has accomplished so many things. He is a teacher, researcher, consultant, and academic administrator, specialized in the field of electrical engineering. He began his academic career as an assistant professor in Dept. He moved to Andhra University as associate professor. Then he became a professor, considering all his. Okay, fine. I think he doesn't want me to be so humble. So let him introduce himself. His own voice of words. I may miss some of the. Anyway, formally, I would like to invite both of them. Madam, Good morning, everyone. So first, let me express my sincere thanks to Dr. Purushottam garu, a well-known personality in, across India.
through his contributions to science and technology, through NRC and other assignments that has successfully completed. Thank you very much, sir, for making me a part of this program. And also our honorable vice chancellor, uh, whatever we have done, uh, there is always encouragement from our administration, particularly Professor PVGD, Professor Rector, and our respected registrar. So I have started my career uh, we're about 27 years back in Gisam as a teacher, humble teacher.
He is also an academic entrepreneur.
As a teacher. Before that, I got my BTech, MTech, and PhD from same University of University. So I was there with Gisam for 10 years, and then moved on to my alma mater, Andhra University. So with the same department, I'm working now as a professor, and I had an opportunity to lead the department since 1 year. Uh, in fact, we have started our active research in 2010. I will get back to the point how we have started and how we have done all those things. Uh, Let us start with something. So before making this, the topic is very much attractive. Technopreneur, the word that has been coined, it gives a boost to many of engineering to move towards entrepreneurship. Because when I am a student, we thought that entrepreneurship is something different, and an engineer or technologist cannot enter into that, right? So it belongs to only those management people or commerce people. They are doing a lot in entrepreneurship. They are leading the companies, and we people as engineers, we just have to become an employee of that firm. Like that, we have many what we call apprehensions at that time. And as I moved on to my career, I thought uh, the proper person or proper personality who can lead an industry is an engineer. So the other people, commerce and all, they can assist him. They can assist him in leading the enterprise. So that happens to be my point now. So unless you have something in your mind technically viable, right? So which can transform the technology plane, right? Then you will become a successful entrepreneur, successful businessman. Crudely say businessman, not entrepreneurship like that, right? Even though we call it as an entrepreneurship, but we will do it for money, right? And that money we will be sharing it to all the people who are incumbents of this business, right? So we had at that time a student or a person when he comes out of the university, he will have two paths to choose. One is to take salary, and other one is to give salary, like to become an employee or to become an employer, right? So I have observed many things in my classroom teaching. Like in this class, the first three rows will be occupied by number one students. So they can be badged as the best student of the class, the best student of the subject, like that. The middle people, I will come to that. The last three rows, they just focus on their work. So they doesn't care what the teacher is going to teach on the blackboard and something like that, right? So many successful stories we have seen either in Geetam or in Andhra University. The backbench students who are focused in their career, they have become successful entrepreneurs, right? So that needs the presence of mind and the common sense, right? So if a student has the right choice of presence of mind, and if he has the common sense, inbuilt common sense in him, definitely these two factors will make him a successful entrepreneur or businessman or technocrat, whatever it is. He can lead a company in an effective manner, right? So let us say, what would happen if Newton at that time doesn't catch the apple, right? Even if he catches the apple, if he eats that, right, not thinking about what has happened, what would happen? There is no Newton's laws, right? So the physics textbook will become thin. We need not study all those things, and we will need something else. The world will not be like this, right? So that is the presence of mind that Newton has used at that time. So why it has fallen? Why it has fallen? And then he thought something else, and we are enjoying the result of that thought, right? So that is the most common parameter which we need to have as a student. So in a classroom, the teacher can give you the keywords of the subject. Keywords of the subject. The first bench student, he writes the keywords, he looks for the opportunity to learn from the teacher. The last bench students, in the meanwhile, he formulates the entire story basing on the keywords, right? So, like we said, తెలుగులో చెప్పాలంటే ట్యాగ్ లైన్ ఉంటే చాలు మొత్తం సినిమా స్టోరీ వాళ్ళు చెప్పారు. సో అది దట్ మేక్స్ ద కామన్ సెన్స్ టు కమ్ ఇంటు పిక్చర్, రైట్? సో విత్ దీస్ టూ ఇంగ్రీడియంట్స్ one can become a successful entrepreneur or a successful technocrat. Let me give you one small example how the technology has been evolved. At the ancient age or the rock age, we used to have the fire like that, right? That fire is used for lighting also. So as the time goes on, we have the development of these items, right? So while developing these items, we can observe the advancement in technology as well as the advancement or enhancement of efficiency of the item. Efficiency of the item, right? So let me tell you one point here. When we are focused on developing a technology or a product or a service, objective will be very much clear, right? The vision is clear, it should be clear, vision, and mission must be simple. Only two words: clear vision and a simple mission. Clear vision will give you what to do. Simple mission will give you how to do. So the final objective is supposed to be visible to you, and that objective should be achieved in a simple way, right? So in many cartoons and textbooks we used to see, if we give a typical work to a lazy person, obviously he gives the simple way. So that is a cartoon, taking it a lighter side. But what I mean to say, the mentors or the supervisors of PhD or guides of a project, BTech or MTech project, they must give a simple vision to the student and a clear mission to the student. Simple and clear. They can be interchangeable. Vision and mission, right? That is another point. So while developing all these products, the efficiency has been enhanced and the technology is developed. to suit the contemporary needs of the market, right? So that is one example. And while formulating a particular problem, we know India is a developing country. There is no dearth for problems. If I am just around 360 degrees, I will be finding umpty number of problems. Like if I go to Jagdamba Junction or complex by my vehicle, right? Definitely, I used to hear the sound of a ambulance. The sound of an ambulance. We know the emotion that has been attached to the persons or attendants in the ambulance, but we don't give the way to the ambulance. That is most happening. If technology is developed in such a way that at a far away place, if the ambulance is on the road and the destination of the ambulance is clear, they know, right? So the road that is leading to the destination, if it has been cleared well in advance, there is no problem. So that is one type of problem. So we can perceive many problems. We can perceive many problems as it is being under development still. And the perspective is important. Suppose a product you need to make, right? The product is supposed to be made. If a civil engineer is there, he looks at the problem in some other way. If a mechanical engineer is there, he looks at the problem in some other way. Like let me give an example. If I have to define human body, how doctors will define? It's a combination of flesh, bones, blood, all those things, many organs, right? If I uh, if I ask a civil engineer to define, he perceives it in a structural way, right? There is a simple column. To that column, hands and legs or whatever the components are there or the body items are there, they are arranged. If I ask an electrical engineer to look at the body, human body, he just says there is a simple spark that is being generated in the heart, and that spark is being transmitted throughout the body, and it is making the cells to live. Right? More precisely, I belong to control systems group. If I ask a control systems engineer, I will say this is a combination of many sensors, many controllers, and many actuation systems. Right? So sensing organs, they sense the information around a human body. Controllers, they process the information around the sensors and they get the information, they process it and gives the energy to the stimulation that is supposed to be made to the body. That is actuation. Likewise, the problem is supposed to be viewed in 360 degrees. The formulation of the object is supposed to be viewed in 360 degrees, right? But more often, if I have a problem, I own it. I don't disclose it to someone else because of my apprehensions, right? So that is the point where we need to break the barrier, where we need to break the ecosystem. Talk with other experts in other fields. I have such a problem. Can you suggest it to modify? I am in the formation of a group, uh, or not group, let us say, a product, in the formation of a product, how it can be modified, give your inputs. If such type of activity is taking place in the ecosystem, then the product that is being developed at that stage will answer many of the questions. So again here, let me appreciate the efforts of Dr. Purushottam Garu along with Dr. Ravi Garu. They are making such an ecosystem in this university under the able guidance of our humble welcome. So there are now, I can foresee many such groups to be formed in the incubation center or under the guidance of the honorable IPFJ. They can visualize the problem, they can analyze the problem in all the 360 degrees perspective, and they can come out with a beautiful solution. One example, let me give a small case study. What we have done. So, as I said, we have started our research journey in 2010. Accidentally, we come into certain field, developing a particular electrical motor for some application with some national reputed research lab. They used to buy the motor from somewhere else in Germany. They bought a few motors and they need few more motors, right? When these people approach the vendor, he has increased the cost by 3 times because no one else can give the motor to this vendor, to this client. At that time, um, we used to have like a chit chat with my colleagues in other research organizations. We formed a group with one mechanical engineer, myself as an electrical engineer, and another applied electrical engineer, applied electrical scientist from the research group, and one instrumentation guy, and one electronics guy. So we thought, why can't we make it? We just had deliberations for 3 months, and then approaching the director of that organization. Sir, let us please give permission so that we can attempt this. He said, okay, you do whatever you want. At the end of 12th month, I need the product to be given to me. He said, at least the design we will give you. So immediately the next day he has given some money to us to proceed with. We have hired 2, 3 SRFs and JRFs. We started working. At the end, we have got a beautiful result that is presented to him. He has vetted that entire design by many experts. And then they made the motor with their funds at somewhere else. Right? So with this design, earlier the motor they have purchased it at 62 lakhs or something like that. The Indian manufacturer, he made the motor for 36 lakhs only. So then they have cancelled their agreement with the foreign company. They started production here, and then they have given another assignment to our team. So likewise, we have started our journey that time. We have completed around 8 to 10 such products. Many of them are first time in India. So in this process, why I am telling all these things is, in this process, each one of the team member, they have become experts in one way. So as a group now, this team can accomplish such type of verticals, right? So amalgamation of all those verticals will lead definitely to the design of products. So once we share our knowledge with the peer team, and if it happens to be a group discussion, then our problem is solved. So with a little sense of selfishness, let me say, if I make my problem to become your problem, obviously I will get the solution. So just I need to convince that it is your problem, not mine. So solve it. Definitely you will be solving the problem and giving me the answer. In this process, you also will gain something knowledge. I also will get my solution. Combiningly, the team will get its objective fulfilled. So on that nature and sense, I can say we have developed a few things. So this is just a futuristic. And let me come to the second aspect. So before starting this also, let me give you a small story. While developing many products of that nature, uh, the people who worked in that team, they are just with BTech and MTech, BTech and MTech. They just posted what they have done in their Facebook and Twitter. Four such candidates, four such scholars or JRFs who worked in the team, they have got this immediately. So after looking at the post in the Facebook, uh, what is it? Antares called one person, another technology is called one person, Hyderabad battery center, HPL, they are called one person immediately. So that is one more success story of a teamwork that is supposed to be played. So let us come to this one. In Andhra University, we have one center named as APSSDC AU Skill Development Center. So it is a tripartite agreement of Andhra Pradesh State Skill Development Center, Andhra University, and the state government. So, as part of the agreement or MOU, a center has been established on 7th May 2018 with 14 major labs covering the verticals of mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronics and communications, as well as instrumentation. So, since then, we are being giving the important training to BTech graduates in all these three districts. So we have got many students stepped into our training center since last 4 5 years, and two times this center has been ranked one among the such centers in South India. So 21-22, because of COVID, non-physical training has been given and online training. So the objectives are it has been a knowledge center. It is used for research and development, educational training, up for industry interaction. So research and development side, we invite research scholars to formulate their ideas and to uh, validate also some of their parameters that are supposed to be praised, and then their product can be tested here. So education training, it is a parallel parallel segment to a classroom. So whatever the student learns in a classroom, whatever the students learns in a classroom, uh, he can have a hands-on experience on many of the equipment. So generally, the education institutions, whether it is a private or a government, cannot afford to buy many of such machinery and equipment because of their cost. So we are giving a certification also, the certification from APSSDC and Andhra University, and we have vertical training of different modules, and these modules are in tune with the National Skill Development Corporation manual requirement. So these technological aspects, they are being mapped to NSDC NSDC norms also. So hub for industry interaction, we have a advisory body that is looking after the skill development corporation center of excellence, and we have many visitors and members of that advisory body from major industries in Andhra Pradesh as well as Visakhapatnam itself. So these are the main labs that are there: product validation and the design, advanced manufacturing, test and optimization, NC programming, numerically controlled programming, CNC machines, rapid prototype, all those things. So the basic idea in formulation of all these labs is a student or anyone can enter the lab with an idea in his brain. So a clear idea, if he has, he can approach the lab and then he can formulate the mathematical model of the lab. He can simulate the mathematical model, and also he can transform the mathematical model onto the real prototype by using either a rapid prototype machine or 3D printing machine, or we have the CNC and NC machines are also there. So he can get out of this lab. Sir, we have 3D printing machine. Yeah, we have more than one week. One week. So he can step out of the lab with his product in his hand, so that uh, he can be a client to incubation center. So in a way, we are just bridging the gap between the classroom to incubation center.
This is a wonderful facility, you know. Each machine will cost several crores.
So straight away, uh, after getting trained in one vertical of 14 weeks or 16 weeks training, industry is absorbing them and they can be placed on the shop floor immediately without any training time that is needed. So this is the basic principle how this lab has been formulated. So first one is the concept that is being generated by the entrepreneur or a technical person. So that concept is being developed by adding a few details to it. Likewise, we say, so we have the data. It's just ABCDs. The data is. If we arrange the data in the beautiful words, we can say that is an information, right? So by using these words, if I write a poem, I can say that is the knowledge. So likewise, the data it is there. So to that data, we are adding the details of the product that is needed to be conceptualized. So that is detailing, and all these subsystems they can be verified and they can be tested at this lab, and finally the prototype can be in our hand. So we have certain domains in CAD and computer aided engineering. The courses offered are like this. So NX is the software that is the product of Siemens company, and the major sponsor of this lab is Siemens. So they have given that NX software free of cost to us. So our trainers they are with certain level of expertise so that they can simply deliver the goods to the student. They can make the student to elevate uh, himself to the expertise level. So likewise, we have the courses that are being offered, and these courses are the student can select his own choice of course, so that he can get the expertise. So this product design and validation lab will have the applications in like these industrial sectors. So aerospace and the medical field, that is uh, one more important aspect here. So here we have one student who has developed an artificial limb of very lightweight, very lightweight, and that is being printed by 3D technology. So he has moved this product to next level of integration. So that is one success story. And in heavy engineering, uh, two teams they have been trained here. They have competed in a world scale competition. They have secured the first place in India, and they have moved to Singapore for the world skill competition. Of course, there we could not get the proper recognition for the work because of many limitations. And so product, the software, this is being used in many of such industries. It's not, it's not mainly used in academic sector. What I mean to say, this is straight away being used in industries. So this gives a confidence to the student. Yes, I can take the training. I can invest my 10 weeks of time or 12 weeks of time in gaining this knowledge, and I can be placed in any of these industries. Because uh, if he got trained here on that same software, which is being used by the same industry, right? They can avoid the time for training. So straight away they are being placed on.
Charges are there for the training.
Yes, ma'am. We are also offering internship of 6 months in nature and 1 year in nature. So charges it's like 500 rupees per week. So that is only for consumables and the current charges for the internship. So this is the product validation design isometric view. So in advanced manufacturing lab, we have the CNC machines and we have uh, the three robots that can weld, that can pick and place any object, and the welding also two types. One welding is a point welding, and the other one is sparkless welding. So those two machines we have. So these machines, pick and place and welding machines, they are being used in Kia Motors. So the same machines we have got here for training purpose of our students. So in advanced manufacturing, we have courses offering these things. So mainly turning and milling manufacturing process. This is being the basic requirement for many industries, and we have got many students placed in industries after getting the training from this.
Manufacturing only by robots for company.
Robot solution, yes, robot solution. That the pick and place robot is there. So the beauty of the course that has been designed is it will have a holding item. So the student can program this item such that it can hold an egg without breaking it or an iron bar. So with that sensitivity, the student can program this sensing device.
So these courses are only for registered students or anybody from outside can.
Anyone from these three dictates, any scheduled engineering college can depute their students to this center.
So students are all college students.
Yes, he is supposed to be a student of BTech program or diploma program. So these are the industry sectors that can be made with this application of the software and the machine. So the machines that are there in our center, we can see the same machinery in these industries. So Tata Automobile, Nissan, Mahindra, all these things. Of course, we have to add it here. So this is the advanced manufacturing lab. Again, a simulation-based lab. So here, the student can give the 3D prototyping model, mathematical model. So he can assign the material to his product and check the performance of the material of the object with the different materials that have been assigned to the product. So we will have a library of materials. The student can select any relevant material that is supposed to be assigned to the wheel of the vehicle or the body of the vehicle or the just a steering wheel material or something else. So by assigning all these things, he can straight away test the product on. So this is one test that it can do. So other types of testings that this lab can handle are these things. So straight away acoustic testing, the acoustic signature of
Pharmaceutical sector, it is not possible to
Mhm.
pharmaceutical sector.
Pharmaceutical, you can mathematically
Pharmaceutical food and food processing.
you
So
can
that is not
mathematically
possible.
model the process.
But
And
manufacturing of a tablet is
Need to go for a separate center of excellence for that
it's
sector.
it's a limitation. One limitation is that we can mathematically model the process and we can identify the weak link in the process so that you can strengthen the entire process. That is possible.
One manufacturing practice.
So structural testing, environmental testing, and all these things, they can test the product. So just a glimpse of what we have in that testing lab. So the equipment that we have. So again, the equipment, we can straight away see the equipment in these industries. So this is the NC programming. The envelope designing by using FEM or so, the student can design, and the boundary condition can also be defined. So within the boundary condition to be satisfied, it can assign the material to the product, and also the model that is developed on the screen, it can be transferred to the milling machine or the uh, other type of milling machine. We have 5-axis and 6-axis machines. So either machine, he can connect to the simulation software. He can interface the result to that machine. Straight away, the machine will give you the product that is designed. So this is the type of equipment that we have in ANSI programming lab. So turning coder, milling coder. So we just leave the students for their work under the supervision of our trainer. So they can do the practical, whatever they want in the lab, and finally they can uh, synchronize the screen to the machine such that the machine works for him and gives the product. So milling machine and turning machine, both are of this is of 5-axis and that is of a 6-axis machine. So the raw material can be of aluminum, copper, or stainless steel. So basic turning and basic milling, these two courses we are offering, and we have got
Just I have a small one. You only know XYZ 3 axis. You're saying 6 axis means what do you mean by 5 axis, 6 axis means what exactly?
sir, it gives to the freedom of the body to rotate.
You know, 60 degrees it can move.
Yes, sir. We
be
say
not six.
yes, yeah. XYZ, we know. The other 3 dimensions are the pitch axis, yeah axis in this direction. Suppose if it is there, sir, I fix it here. I move the other end. I call it as yeah axis. So the pitch axis is this, and the rolling. So these 3 dimensions also can be made to work. So suppose the object is in orbit, let us say, it can move all the 3 dimensions, x, y, z, as well as these 3 axes. So this is the rapid prototyping machine, the 3D machine. It uses high temperature fiber material to be deposited on the product base, and this deposition is controlled by a simple digital computer that is connected to this, and on the digital computer we have the NX software loaded, and that software gives you the student to a feasibility to design his own product. So that is the mission, and these are few objects.
That's flexibility.
Yes.
Polygons.
These are just the items that have been made by our students. So this is a simple PLC programming. Of course, nowadays it has become a little bit out of context in many industries because of its size. So if size is not a matter, generally industry would prefer PLC. So we have the other lab, SCADA lab, automation. SCADA, it is nowadays it has got its wide application in many sectors of industry. Likewise, our APPDCL, the power distribution company, they are using this SCADA. Steel plant, they are using this SCADA. Right? So it is just a simple connection of many sensors and controllers to give the actuation. What we have seen earlier. So we have the sensor depository. Many sensors can be mathematically modeled here, and their viability for a particular application can also be checked in this laboratory, and we can have the control programming also. So the sensors gives the data that is acquisited there, it can be processed, and the controller gives out a single signal that is supposed to be given to the machine to work. In that process, the entire section from starting to entire spectrum, this lab can handle.
Like an automation.
Automation type. So basic PLC codes, basic SCADA, and HMI networking. So these are basics, and also we have the advanced level programs So the student straight away can spend, not spend, let us say he's investing in that. So this is one automation lab where we have the transducers, testing transducers, programming and interfacing the various types of transducers to IoT devices. So this is electrical energy studies lab. This is another important lab because 90% of the power that is consumed by an industry goes to electrical machines only. And we can scale the machine or classify the industry by taking into consideration the power that is it is consuming. So if I say the industry, the particular industry is consuming 10 megawatts, we can classify it as to be a large scale industry. So the major consumer of electrical power is electrical motor. The student can straight away study the performance of each of these classifications of motor, starting from age-old DC motors to the most advanced permanent magnet motors. So he can able to control the speed of the motor. He can able to control the torque characteristic of the motor to suit the load that is there in the industry. So likewise, and also he can simply dissect the motor into part by part, and also he can assemble the motor. So that also is possible with this lab. Now we are having a heavy demand for this laboratory, and many students who have got a certificate, they are directly being placed in industry. So we have the facility to control the speed of the motor just a fraction of RPM or 1 RPM to 2 lakh RPM, 2 lakh rotations per minute. So at that speed range, the student can know how to make the machine to work. And also, the switch gear, basic switch gear that is supposed to be there in power system. We have the generator located at the Silero or Marchkar, right? The same power is being transmitted to here in this room. We are using that power which is being generated. So in transmission from that point to this load point, we will be having many switch gear that is supposed to be there in the line. So this switch gear is needed for better operation of the transmission line and the faultless operation of the transmission line. So we have the basic switch gear provided in the lab. The student straight away work on the switch gear. He can, I can say simply, he can play with all characteristics or all attributes of a switch gear. So the most significant product which we have is 1000 ampere circuit breaker. So only on 132 kV lines or 220 kV transmission lines we used to have such a thing at very high substations. So the same unit is being placed here so that he can straight away has the hands-on experience. So these are just the courses that we can offer. Low voltage switchgear is another thing. Low voltage means it's of 1 volt or 2 volt. So we can say a simple motor, a small tiny motor that is being used by the dentist to drill the teeth. That is rotating at 2 lakh RPM. We will not be sense that speed also. We can say we can see that it is not rotating at all, but it is rotating at 2 lakh RPM. So that low voltage switchgear is also available here. So a permanent magnet motor, the student can connect to this switchgear. He can change the speed. He can change the direction, uh, and its performance can be analyzed. That is one more important attribute of that equipment which is there. So this is the lab which I am studying. So another thing is the mechatronics lab. Mechatronics lab. Whatever the process that industry is having, suppose a bottling plant. At some point, the Coca-Cola is being manufactured. It is being made. How that Coca-Cola is bottled into various types of bottles, 200 ml bottle, 500 ml bottle, 1 liter bottle, all these things. So the entire system uh, is being placed here. So we will have different types of bottlings, different types of fillings, different types of material that is supposed to be filled in the container, right? So that entire process he can understand, the student can understand, and also he can manipulate the parameters of this, right? So the sensing mechanism which this mechatronics lab is having, it can sense, again I can say, it can sense the egg or iron bar. So if I place an egg at the sensing item here, it can say it is an egg. If I same thing, the same egg, if it is made of iron, it says it's not egg, it is iron. So such type of sensing materials are also sensing items are also there here. So the student can change the program that is given by the manufacturer.
Once it is automated, how is it? Once it is automated.
They have given the feasible demand. So we have requested them with that feasible. Then only we can make our students to work on that. Otherwise, we can simply, it just simply switches it off and uh, just walk through that. So at a particular segment of the program, you can alter the parameters, you can check the program. So this is mechatronics lab. So the overview of mechatronics lab. Again, process instrumentation. So in any industry, we need to measure these parameters: temperature, the flow, the level, the pressure in a container, all those things. So they can be measured by using some sensor. Like these sensors give out the analog quantity. So the student can transfer or change the analog parameter that is being measured into digital parameter. He can process the data or information that he has got, and he can interface that with some IoT device so that it can be transferred to some computer which is located at some other place. So the sensors that are there in this lab are these things: the level sensors, flow sensors, temperature, pressure, positioning, and this is the software manager that is being used to process the data that has been acquired by using these sensors. So this is the process instrumentation lab. The courses that we are offering is the process instrumentation and distributed control system basics and also advanced data. The overview of process instrumentation lab. So in robotics, as I already mentioned, we have three types of robots that we have. We can place MIG welding and spot welding. So these are just the explanatory figures what we have with this. This is the overview of the lab. So it has been built with the industry standards taken into consideration. So the way in which the same machine is being handled at industry, it is being handled here also in the same manner. And this is another set of machines that we have: lift installation and lift maintenance. So among all the labs which the center is having, this is the most successful lab. We could train only two batches, 18 plus 18, 36. All the 36 got placed immediately in Vishakhapatnam itself. So there is a large demand for lift maintenance people in Vishakhapatnam. So we are getting inquiries for three more batches. So there is a long waiting list that is there with the lab to conduct more batches. So we have around 60 to 65 waiting list is there. But unfortunately, the trainer he got some other placement with very high package. He left. So I am in a process to search for a suitable trainer such that I can cater the needs. And the same trainer is being placed at Johnson and Johnson. Just they have they are giving him the salary in his payslip into two. And another this thing, it is basically for diploma students. So it caters the needs of body repair, and painting tools. So the student can straight away learn how to paint the automobile and how to repair the body of an automobile. So this is also made to suit the norms of industry. So these are just images of the facilities that we have. And the visitors of this, we are fortunate to host our Honorable Governor Garu on his maiden visit to Visakhapatnam. First visit to Visakhapatnam. Just a few things. Just a few things. Uh, Thank you very much, sir.